Hi, guys.
Hi.
We have some really cool stuff coming out. We thought it would be cool to just tell you the story behind it, you know, why we're excited about it, why we think it'll be really cool for you to hear it, and how excited we are for you to hear it. So some of you might have known that we put out a single. It was actually our first single. We have a little secret. We have a ton of material coming out here soon.
Yay.
But the first song we put out was called 1001 Windows. And it was about childhood. It was about innocence. And it's something that's on our mind a lot. We're raising children. It also marries with our mission statement in that we wanted to write music that spoke to people in the middle of life. Just telling stories like that or thinking about things like that. And we certainly are. So what we're going to hope to do with this video is that we're going to tell you about this song. And then we're going to tell you different perspectives on the song. And then we're going to tell you about a new announcement, which we have, and we're really, really excited about it.
Yeah, I really loved the song lyrically because I felt it just really captured my childhood. So many things about that are difficult to put into words, I think. Those feelings that you have of walking on the pavement and the summer not being hot when you were a kid. And I just think it so beautifully took all those things that I loved about my childhood and put it into a song. But then also was a great picture of what my own children are going through. So it was kind of this dual feeling of the nostalgia of experiencing it myself, and then also the beauty of watching my own children go through these same exact experiences.
Generally, this is how it works, at least. I'll bring sort of like the framework of a song, and generally it has lyrics and melody and stuff, and then we turn it into a neighborly song with like what we're doing and the parts and all the harmonies and the different things. And to be honest with you, when I was finished with this song, I didn't know that it would actually become a neighborly song because I thought it was just so niche and personal and stuff. I particularly didn't know how Arissa would feel about it, but we sat down and sang it, and really quickly we got excited about it, and it was working for us. I really, really love this band called the Weepies. I don't know if you guys like them. They've always had this sound that just kind of makes you feel happy. And I know in this cynical day that we live in, there's a lot of people would maybe describe that as like kitschy, or they describe that as maybe too innocent, or, you know, whatever. There's not enough of that in the world sometimes. Just somebody venerating and speaking positively about innocence. And without a doubt, raising toddlers, in my case, toddlers, Arissa's children are a little bit older than mine. You care about this again. You care about, and you care about it, and you recognize how valuable it is, because that's really where like some of the coolest dreams happen. It's really where you don't feel the impediments that you feel in the middle of your life. And I think it's exactly why we're to not condescend to children, and exactly why we're to take them seriously, and to allow like the lens through which they look at life to impact us.
Yeah.
And I think being a songwriter, I think to some extent you hold on to the value of that like Peter Pan type of stuff longer than the average person does, which makes you a songwriter. But also having a new exposure to that with my children, I just started thinking it was really cool, you know, like how excited they get about very, very seemingly non-important things. But at a second glance, as I think a second time about them, I'm realizing that most of the stuff that I'm concerning myself with is not that cool. And most of the stuff that they're concerning themselves with is cool. So the song lays childhood over adulthood and asks the question, you know, who's really got the better deal here, right? You know?
Right. I think a lot of the conversation right now, as a mother of children, and a lot of the bloggers and the articles that I read, you know, talk about being present. And I think what that song captures is that present mindset of children, and how everything's just kind of the now. And in that vein, it was a bit of a challenge. I think it is a challenge. And I think we kind of end that with the end of the song, is how can we in turn learn from them and use that idea of presence that we used to have just so naturally, and let that impact us. And so I feel like that just was a great twist.
We're proud of this, what we created together, but the feeling that it gives you is just, it makes you happy.
It feels like a nice, happy summer day with the trees blowing in the wind.
Yeah, it definitely does. It's unabashed. You know, we're not even trying to hide it. We're just literally trying to do something that makes you remember that time in your life. And granted, I have talked to a couple people since I've written those lyrics, and it's not everybody's childhood. I did have a little bit of an idyllic childhood. I'm so grateful for that. But even if you didn't have that childhood, I think you can look on that and be like, this is really beautiful. You know what I mean? This would be beautiful that a child would be able to.
And how do I capture that now in my life? How can I look at the world through their eyes? I think it's a challenge, even if you didn't have that upbringing.
Yeah. Arissa and I are really, really lucky. We're a part of a community of musicians at the church that we go to. And it is just a really, really beautiful thing. They are insanely talented. And
not only musicians, but
artists in just general. It's really, really amazing.
Filmmakers and
filmmakers, artists, graphic designers, all kinds of stuff like that. So in this particular case, a good friend of ours who does play with us from time to time, who actually will play with us this weekend. I don't know when you'll be watching this video. It might be past dated by the time you're seeing it. But we're playing a really, really cool show at Life Center this weekend. So our good friend Noah, who you might have seen in videos with us before, much younger than us, very talented, more pulled together now than we were at his age. Yes?
Maybe
not Arissa. Arissa likes to think of herself as pulled together at that age.
I am a girl,
recognize the train
so we girls tend to be a little bit more mature.
He's doing a lot of production and working with a lot of artists. But we actually recorded this song with him, and he played on it. And our good friend Steve played on it, and we're so thankful to them. I mean, they really helped us bring this to life. I like to think of it as like our arm, only the neighborly arm between the two of us only stretches this far, and they helped us stretch further. So that's really, really awesome. His name is Althoff, Noah Althoff.
Yes, and Stephen Byrod played the bass, and Noah produced the song and played on it as well.
Yeah. So that was awesome. Really cool.
You're going to be hearing more from him with us in the future.
Yeah. And then this essentially is like the main reason for the video. We are just so excited because we had the opportunity with a film crew to shoot a music video. Johnny Burkholder was the writer and director of this music video. And it's a full-blown music video. I mean, it is really, really cool. It's very well done. What do you think, Arissa? Do you speak to that?
Yeah, it exceeded my expectations. I loved the idea that he brought to you when he heard the song first. Do you want to talk about that?
I told him, what I thought about the song and why I wrote it. Because we're at the time in life that we're at, I think the challenge is that we're in the drudgery of life so much so that we're missing the carpe diem. We're missing the here and now. Arissa talked about being present. That's essentially what I'm talking about. And that's a challenge for parents. You get done with your work day and you're exhausted, and in your mind, you should be invested, but your body sometimes fails you, your attitude fails you, your perspective fails you. When I think back on it through the rear view, I think it lends itself a little bit cinematically because you have all this imagery running through the lyrics and stuff of childhood. And then he came back to us with this really cool idea. We have these really, really good friends that are very supportive of us and our music.
Yep. We love Carla and Rob Gallo. They have been fans and supporters, great encouragers of us from the beginning. We actually used their beautiful home for our very first Neighborly pictures. So we kind of joke around that the Neighborly was born there. We really have kind of grown there through them and doing some house shows with them. And so their house is absolutely beautiful, but we also felt like it was a perfect backdrop for this particular video. And then, crazily enough, even though they're not actors by trade, they agreed to be the actors in our music video, along with their beautiful children.
They just did such a genuine job of portraying the story that Johnny kind of envisioned. When I was done watching this video, I thought if I saw this video, it would grab me by the collar and shake me and make me do a little better, make me see a little clearer. And I'm proud of that. It's little things like that. It's lighting up the dark in little ways that I really believe in. And it also speaks right to our pace of life, like right in our stride. Johnny is just a beautiful artist in his own right. I've worked with him in the past on music projects, not the Neighborly. He really is a talent, and we're really lucky to know him. And
absolutely.
He leads a bunch of up-and-coming videographers and filmmakers, and they all kind of came together and worked on this, and we were really touched by that.
Thank you to Danny and Jen and Maddie. And Kayla.
Yes. They were just so great.
They gave up their whole afternoon on a beautiful day.
They did. Which is another reason that I would, if you're an artist out there in any respect, Arissa and I have really leaned into community. And it is true that there's a huge component of that's service driven. But the flip that coin around, there is a huge component to that is wonderful. Mm-hmm. And it's when you give yourself away that I think your plate fills up. And this is a perfect example of that. We've had friends that stepped up to be actors. We have filmmakers that stepped up and helped us out. And I think you're going to just really think that this music video is cool. We think so. We're a little biased.
Okay, so keep your eyes open on Monday, this coming Monday. We are going to release this video around dinner time.
Yeah.
Be perfect for that whole idea of coming home on a Monday and being exhausted and needing some perspective, right?
And we are just going to make the ask. We're really proud of it. We want people to see it. Yes, obviously, we want people to hear our music. That stuff's true of any artist. But we actually really think this could be like helpful to people and bless them. It's a 4-minute video of positivity, and it's a beautiful little film, really.
From an artistic standpoint, I love the idea of the 1001 windows and no doors kind of being like a way to, you see all the wonderful ways that children interact with life, and it's just really hard sometimes to get there and to be able to sit down and like really play with them. It's like we've so far removed from that life and that thinking. I just love that imagery. We would greatly appreciate a share.
Yeah, if you invest in it, that would really be great. And we really appreciate all you guys. We thought this would be cool just to speak to you a little bit about our heart and why we do what we do. And so hopefully you're getting to get to know us a little bit better, realize, what the heartbeat is behind some of this stuff.
Yay.
All right, this was our first neighborly, whatever you want to call it. Hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't enjoy it, tell us in the comments section, and I'm sure you'll have some opinion.
And if you have some questions, go ahead and leave the questions. We'll be happy to answer them.
Take it easy, guys.
Bye.